Hey everyone, how you doing? We're live now. It's Sunday, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go live today, but I am now because I've just been recording 3 videos earlier today. So I thought, why not? Why not go live? Let's see what the world is cooking. Probably barbecues, because that's all we ever talk about whenever we do these chats. But I just recorded a pretty big video today. It's about 30 minutes long, and I got to edit some tiny chunks out. It's about essential plugins, or the plugins I like to use when I design websites. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Just gotta sort that one out now. Edit it, as you do. I won't share the screen as I'm editing it for obvious reasons, because I don't want to give away the entire video until I've basically edited it. So, oh dear, what is this? Okay, just got a question come in. Just going to quickly try and answer that. In fact, I'm probably just going to put a message out to say we're live now. I should do that, shouldn't I? Just say, hey, we're live. We're now live. Hey Peter, how you doing? How's the gate? Did you get that completed? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I did some more gardening work yesterday, and now I'm just just gotta stop this video. Did a bit more gardening yesterday, and quite a bit more some web work last night, and then today recorded 3 more videos about different topics and stuff. So got to edit and get them out, and then just some prep work for another website, and just fine-tuning some details for a client job that is most likely going to start tomorrow, but just need to get some confirmation off them. Gates completed. Excellent. Yeah, I've got to do some creative solutions for mine as well. I'm trying to think about the best approach to make. It's always nice when you're able to work something out, isn't it? Hey, Mark, you okay? What have I done here? So the essential and desirable plugins that for WordPress that I use, I need to edit that video, but I'll send you the slides for that, Mark. Hopefully that video will come out tomorrow. I'm not gonna delay it. I think it's a good one to get out early. Definitely a good one to get out early. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I've got this little black book. Yeah, good one, Mark. Do you have to actually sit there and watch the kids while they do it, or do you get to drop them off? I've got this little black book that I've had, believe it or not, since 2004. It's a little black book with with the grids on it. And I sit and all of my pergola designs, everything I've ever done in the garden sits in that book. My measurements, when I'm experimenting with your 3D designs and sketching things out. It's my little black book. It is literally like, it's about it's an A6 size. No, it's not A6. It's bigger than A6. No, hold on. It's between A6 and A5, basically. Pocketbook size. Kids, yeah, well, oh dear. Kids take up your time. That is for sure. That is for sure. Once you have kids, life changes. I don't want to say in a bad way, but it definitely changes. So just a bit of editing to do. Drop them off. Now he's promising my mummy. Ah, yes, Mother's Day. Yeah. Luckily, I'm Luckily, everyone knows that I'm not one for like events or anything like that. So I just tell everyone I'm busy, Mark. Even my wife's like that now as well. Even she's like, oh, I'm busy, Christmas and Easter, I don't mind them. Even if I don't eat that much chocolate anymore at all, to be honest. But Easter's not bad. Hey Danny, how you doing? Yeah, we have a web design agency. If I give you a link to our mastery membership, right, Danny? The URL for our website's there, Web Squadron. It's a web design agency. We're building. I've been working on websites now for over 16 years. We have clients. I'm not going to say. See, look, the word web developer is always a strange word, like web designer, web developer. So I do CSS, I do HTML, I do some coding, but I prefer using Elementor because of the efficiency and speed of doing things. So I'm not going to call myself a web developer. I prefer web designer, web magician, web guru, But the channel here is mainly about Elementor, mainly because there's different ways you can do it. I don't use Divi, I don't use Gutenberg, I don't use Oxygen, Webflow or anything like that. I just focus on Elementor, getting the best out of it. And one of the videos we released yesterday was about zooming in on images. And loads of people have done that with using extra plugins or extra code. And I was just showing people there's a way you can do it with no extra code. With no extra plugin, you can just do it using what's already available for you inside Elementor. You just didn't know it, or you didn't realize it. So we focus on that. But also, it's not just about Elementor, it's about business as well, getting clients. using rank math, SEO, marketing, branding, using LinkedIn. And in our mastery membership, the link I've put there, we go deeper into the business side of things, business models as well, social, marketing as well, content, stuff like that. So we're not just, the channel and us is not just about web design. However, we are a web design agency, so we're not, let me put it to you in a different way. There's a lot of YouTube influencers out there that have a channel that talks about web design or whatever, but they're not an agency. They don't build websites. So all they're telling you is what they've heard or experienced or whatever from other people. The advice we give is real. So often when I'm talking about a new feature, I might say I wouldn't use this, and that's literally the honest truth. So yeah, there you go. I just gave you a dissertation about the channel. Any other questions? Do fire away. It's okay. I know what you mean though, Peter. I know what you mean though, all kinds of festivities. I don't want to sound like I'm a boring person, but I tend to like if I was to start getting involved into everything and anything, I would struggle with time. I would be juggling just way too much. And for me it's like I get joy out of doing these live chats, the web design, building things, finding solutions, helping people. I get joy out of that. And if it's a festivity I care about and I want to do, I will do it. Believe me, I get involved. Sometimes though, I just take it a little bit. I don't overly get involved just because I sometimes, like, I'll be honest, I don't really go to my parents' house that much. Mainly because I'll have to get ready, so there'll be half an hour lost there. Then it's half an hour to get there, so that's an hour. Then I might be there for 1 or 2 hours. Well, now we're on to 3 hours. Then it's going to be like half an hour getting back, and then you need half an hour wind down time once you get back. So that's 4 hours, 4.5 hours of my time gone. And I often say, in that 4.5 hours, I could have done all of that, all of this stuff. So I have to weigh it up against what I've got on, what I'm trying to achieve, what I want to do. I know a lot of people in my family don't put in as much effort into their gardens at all. The most they'll do is maybe put a few flowers and maybe mow, and that'll be it. We're completely redoing the garden. I mean, we're completely shifting things and wood carpentry stuff and planting areas and raised beds, and then like a pirate ship I just built for my son out of pallets and wood building all of that for him down there. Redoing some of the turf areas, some of the paths and all of that. So for me it's like, when the weather's good, when the weather is, it's not so cold now, right, get out, I can get onto that. Whereas other people might say, hey, let's just have a get together, and I'm like, if I know I'm going to have a really good time, yeah, I'll go. But if I'm like, is it worth my time? I'm a bit like that. I'm a bit of a sod like that. Sorry, but that's how I am. In the pre, you were listening secretly. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's for me, it's like when you're young. Yeah, exactly, Peter. It's got to be. It's like I have to be honest. Like, sometimes when I go to my mum and dad's house, the conversation's not exactly exhilarating. It's the same thing. Or you go to some relatives' get-togethers and there's not much happening. It's just the same conversations, the same stereotypes, the same opinions, and and they're not. I have to be honest. They're not even educated opinions. They're just opinions. And you go, what have you? You're basing that on what you've read on YouTube or Facebook. You're basing that on what someone said. Where's the fact? Where is Where's the educated conversation? It's just not there, and I get bored of it then, and I can't often be honest and say what I'm thinking because I know they won't like it if I go, no, you're being misled, or that's not right, and I have to just zip it, and I hate doing that. And like Inderpreet says, it's got to come from the heart. So when I was younger, when I'm a kid, I had to go to endless weddings, funerals, get-togethers, all the time. You missed out on having a life as a kid sometimes because you always had to get dragged somewhere. And now I'm pretty honest to my family and people is that I will come to your wedding or I will go to a wedding if I care about them. Same goes with funeral. I will go to funerals if I knew and cared about the person. I'm not just going to go to a funeral. I remember once my parents saying to me someone had died. And they were like, that person came to your wedding. And I remember saying, I never invited them. You guys decided who came and went, right? You controlled all of that. I was not allowed to, have any control over that. I don't even know their name. I don't even know what they look like. No disrespect, but what does the world gain by me attending a funeral of someone I did not know? And it sounds harsh, but it's like I would rather go to a wedding or a funeral or get together people where I know I'm going to be glad to see them. I'm going to cry because they're not there. I just want to be in their company. And that's the way I am. Hey, Pickstar, how you doing? Hey, barbecue, did you have it last night? I didn't have a barbecue last night. I had a KFC instead. That was very filling, probably too filling. But yeah, did you have your barbecue? Elementor 3.6.4. So, some people have spotted, make sure you haven't got any optimizations activated for combining CSS or JS. Number one. Number two, very good point, Peter. If you had your wedding right now, no, exactly. Do you know what? When you think about the cost of weddings, when you think about the people you often invite because you feel you got to because they're family or whatever, deep down, do you really care? And deep down now, I'm like, you know what? When my son wants to get married, he'll have what he wants to have, but he won't be made to have a big wedding. What I was going to say was, with Elementor 3.6.4, have you got any Elementor add-ons, like premium add-ons or ultimate add-ons or exclusive add-ons or happy add-ons or any of this stuff? Because if you have, I would say just wait one more week. Just wait one more week because some of them have updated, but apparently there's still been a few issues. And I would say just wait. Just wait. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I mean, and look, if you really want to spend it and you really want to make a wedding lavish and amazing, you can do. But I always see it as and no disrespect to anyone here, but I see it as dead money. It is basically money that burns a hole, and for that moment in time, it's probably amazing, whatever. And you're so glad to get married, but you know what? It's like I know someone, they were getting married and they were going to spend over £20,000 and they were and they were getting a house and they got the house and it needed loads of work and they were worried about the cost of doing all the work. And I said to them, you're burning £20,000 on a wedding and you're worried about how you're going to do up a house you're just moving into and it needs a complete gutting. It needed complete doing top to bottom. And I'm like, but you're spending £20,000 on a wedding for loads of stuff that, do you really need it? And how big are you making it just because you want to compete against others? 20,000, pounds. And I'm like, you know, the amount of people you're inviting, the amount of stuff you're doing, you're trying to show off a little bit as well, but you got a house and you're worried about the cost of doing up the house. Where does common sense kick in a little bit? Yeah, ultimate add-ons. Just wait, Peter. Just wait, okay? Because the reason I say that, because I know someone this morning who's got ultimate add-ons and their site broke. Especially with Dokkan as well. I would just wait a week. Just wait a week, all right? Oh, totally pissed. I mean, that's what I would say though. It's like sometimes, yeah, spending more because of the importance of the event and friends and family can justify the cost. Absolutely. I just know that when I got married, it was like, you know, my wife's mum and dad and my mum and dad, they just took over, and it was like it was so annoying. But even now, when I even now my wife knows this, when I talk about our wedding, I'm like, it is not a day I look on happily. It's great that of the fact we got married, but do I look back on that event and smile? I go no, because it was just awful. It was just like, you know, it was more for them. You know, I mean, even like some of my friends weren't allowed. Some of my closest friends that I'd been going to school with since I was 4 years old, right? Their mums and dads were invited, but the kids weren't. And some of those friends of mine stopped talking to me because up until that point, I was told they were invited and coming, and then literally on the day they was told that no, they're not allowed to come. Can you imagine that? I was 25 when I got married. So these are people I've known for 21 years of my life were told they could not come to my wedding, but their mums and dads could. It just leaves a nasty feeling in my gut whenever I think about how they must have felt on that day. It just blows your mind and disgusting. Yeah, and I just feel like, you know, it's oh yes, Pixar. But hey, look, as long as you're still getting invited to have barbecues and burgers, you know, you're doing something right, then aren't you? Something is still working. Mm, that's nice, Peter. Lime green suit. I can picture you in that, actually. I can picture you in it. Ah, of course, Pickstars. That's why you were invited, because you're here, you're there to tell them how to cook. Very clever. Very clever. Very clever way to get invited. Oh yeah, and by the way, Peter, in the UK, our clocks went forward by 1 hour, so we lost an hour's sleep. So what is 11 o'clock for us now would have been 10 o'clock before. So our clocks have gone forward now. So right now it's 11:26 in the morning, which is probably 11:26 for you too. Two lives. What other live are you watching, George? Is it Zanti on again? 12:26. Oh, so are you two? Hold on. So are you 2 hours ahead of us then, Peter? The UK time. Nice one, Dave. Of course, you know that timeline. You do have to tinker with it, or even do something alternate for the mobile. So you got to play around with it a bit. Yeah. So it's 11:27 for us at the moment. Yeah, it's 11:27. I had to double check my watch then for a second. I'm just going to put in my headphones so I can still talk to you all. I don't know, Charlie. I don't know. What's a day off, Charlie? What is a day off? Do you do days off? How dare you, Charlie, do a day off? I did 3 videos today, Charlie, in the morning, and then I just had to touch up on some stuff, and I might have a client who starts tomorrow. Just got to fine tune some agreements, a directory website, quite a big one, to do with I can't really talk too much about it, but it's quite a big one. Working with some major national companies who they're linked in with, so we've got to make sure we do a damn good job on it. Oh, my son's downstairs doing whatever. You know, turning in. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. Hey Carapos, how you doing? Wow, Python. Yeah, nice one, George. Nice one. There was a stage where we were going to learn, well, I was going to learn Python and all of that for work. And then I decided, do you know what? I then decided, I then set my plan in motion in a way to kind of retire from work. So I'm glad I didn't have to get too neck deep into doing all of that. Hey Ashaba, how you doing? Sorry, I just noticed your name. Sorry, I missed it there. Ashaba, how you doing? So I did a video today about um essential and desirable WordPress plugins, which will come out tomorrow. So what are the plugins we like to always install and use, and what are the extras we sometimes use? So it gives you a bit of insight into what we have on our website. No way, Charlie. Oh, I don't like that, Charlie. I really don't like that. Have they been? Have you done a search on who is? So do a domain check on them. How long have they been operating for? It's me, Charlie. I set it up. It was me. No, it's not. Find out how long have they been operating. Right. So new company. Yeah, cool. I'll show the screenshot. So this is a screenshot of Charlie. Okay. He's this. I'm gonna share a picture of Charlie when he's swimming. Uh, there you go. Right. So over here, right. It says Thailand Divers official website. We're the most experienced dive tour operators. But they've basically their Phuket Dive Center, or if I pronounce it as it is written, fuck it dive center or whatever. But Phuket Dive Center, Thailand Divers. So so I think that's quite bad that they're doing that. Um, and I would say definitely. Um, I'm not entirely sure what you can do. I mean, because obviously they're using Thailand divers, you see, as their keyword. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? And they could get away with that because that is their. But um, when you do a search for Thailand divers, yeah, exactly, yeah. But uh, because it's just a keyword, they can get away with it, isn't it? That's the problem. That's the problem. Oh, is that? Hold on, Charlie. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. You're the picture listing. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think you just got to keep going from strength to strength on your website, really. And what is their website like, by the way? What would you rate it in terms of how it looks? First official website, Peter says. Yeah, it's change it to the original website. So where they have official, you type in original. Um, hopefully hopefully you can gain more Google reviews and whatever on your website can help as well. Hey Atlantis, how you doing? Got your coffee? I got my Pepsi Max. So I'm going to be editing a video in a moment. I'm literally just running through loads of questions that have come through on Facebook in the last hour and a half when I was recording before I went live. Um, so anyone who saw the video I did yesterday about zooming in on images, um, someone someone made a point about the video saying use coding, and there is ways to do it with coding, and what I'm trying to say to people is the coding way is lighter and much lighter basically in how you do it. However, if you want to just use the other widget, which is easy without any code, that's okay as well. So Atlantis, just check in. Do Elementor ever fix the page columns? Um, What do you mean though when you say so when you say fix the page columns, what you mean to ensure they do not grow? So if they're like 33% and 66%, you don't want them to now grow depending on your screen size. Is that what you're saying? Hey Carapos. I see I see Carapos and not everyone will understand this, but I see that Carapos and George are multitasking. So am I. I'm trying to edit, answer Facebook questions, got my own feed, got someone else's feed, and I've got an email here I'm just tracking as well because I've got 4 emails I've just got to quickly respond to as well. God, we're all over the place today, aren't we, everyone? Wow, Pixar, I've just seen your burger. You're too good, man. You're too good. Yeah, just back to Atlantic. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of like when it comes to columns, a lot of it does depend on like and it's like a lot of it depends on what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day, really. I've never had that much of an issue with the columns or whatever, especially if you work with a boxed layout. Basically, Pixar, you're burning off the burger you had yesterday. Is that the first time you had them, Charlie? Is that the first time you've had the Angus ones? I can't remember if you said you'd ever had them before. They're nice, aren't they? Lovely filling, lovely, nice meat. Did your kids have them? Or are you going to tell me your kids are now vegan? But no, did your kids have them? First, yeah, kids. What did your kids think of it? My wife makes them. Whenever she makes them, I always feel like they're missing something. But yeah, the Aldi Angus ones, they're lovely, they are. Yeah. I mean, it's like, how many did you have? Did you have two or one? I mean, Have I told you what I do? Because I don't have the bread. Yeah, they're so I don't have the cobs or the bread. So what I do is I have two burgers. I get a burger, then I'll have a burger basically. I'll have the cheese and the sauce, a few onions and whatever. Then I'll put the other burger on top. So literally, my burger is two bits of chunky meat with the stuff in the middle because I don't have the bread. Burgers from mushrooms. Wow. A food channel. Yeah, we could do. We'll just make people sick. There'll be food poisoning everywhere if we did that. Ah, the large mushrooms as the bread. I think I've seen that. I'm not a fan of mushroom. How did it taste though? The large mushroom. Did you? How does it taste though? I think you mentioned. I don't know if you ever said that. I can't remember if you ever mentioned that before, Charlie. You used to be a chef in the Royal Navy. That's wow. Ah, you see, Dave, that's what I sometimes do as well. So I'll make an omelette, do the burger, and then and the omelette will obviously contain the spices and the onions and whatever, and then the burger goes in the middle and you wrap it up. That is nice. Wow, you joined in 91. In 1991, Charlie, I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old in 1991. 1991. 'Charlie was 19. Atlantis was finishing graphic design college. So you would have been. Hold on, graphic design college. So was that like university then? Or. Because for me, college would have been 16 to 18. And then university was 18 to 21. 22, Dave. Wow. I know it's scary, isn't it? When you look at how old you are now, you look at it and go, God, all the things. But I tell you what, I'm from that generation, obviously, where like so many people when they see me, they go, "Oh, it's okay for you. You grew up with computers and mobile phones. And I'm like, no, I didn't get my first computer until I was 21. I didn't get my first mobile phone until I was 21 as well. You know, so the last 22, 23 years of my life, yes, computers and mobiles, but I got them around about the same time as everyone else was getting them. I haven't grown up with them. I had to go library every day after school. I used to go walk to the library, 20-minute walk away to do stuff. You know, so I had to learn the hard way as well. But I tell you what, I just think, my God, how easier and how different would things have been? You know, like if when you were a teenager, if we had access to like, if you had an iPhone or something then, or machines and laptops and stuff like that you could readily use and access in the internet. You know, I didn't really start using the internet until I started uni which was when I was 18. Before that, internet was just like a nothing to me. I didn't really know what it was. And all this technology and Twitter and Facebook and being able to network and speak to people, my God, I mean, I think like, the wealth of knowledge and the stuff I could have done. Yeah, exactly. 22 when you first and when you think about all of this stuff you could have done when we were teenagers, because I know you could say, well, yeah, the internet when we were, by the time I was 18, but it's not until the iPhone, for me in 2007, I think it was 2000, yeah, it was 2007, and then you had apps and stuff and all this stuff, and then I started talking to writers in Hawaii and across the world, and you were networking with people, not just people you went to school with. The world suddenly went like this, doosh. And people sometimes say to me, and people do say to me, oh, Twitter and blah, 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 and Facebook's waste of time. They don't understand. Right now, I'm speaking to you people now, right? I'm networking with people around the world. Exactly, I mean, it's like, like I said, my first mobile phone was a Nokia 3210 that I got just after the millennium. So the year 2000, after the turn of the year, January, I got my first phone then. And my first smartphone wasn't until 2007. By this point, I'm now, 2007, I was 29 years old. And then you see, it's like, my God, how different would our lives be? Yep, orange. Mine was orange. 2000. It was with orange, and it was a Nokia 3210. You got yours quite early, Charlie, for 1994. You'd have had the brick then, wouldn't you? 94. £1 minute. But you just think how different life would have been. So when people say to me, oh, it's okay for you, you grew up with it. I'm like, no, I did not grow up with it. The first time I started using Microsoft Excel was in 2001. The first time I used SQL was 2002. No, 2003. 2003. I know this because I train people up. Stuff like that. So many people used to say to me in the early noughties, oh, you've done a computer degree. But I go, no, I have not. You just learn. You get on with it and you learn. Wow, drawing a straight line. I'm rubbish. I can just about do it. Yeah, my very first computer, not a proper personal computer, but my first computer was a Commodore 64 in 1985, I think it was. I think it was 85. No, 86 even. It might have been 86. I don't think it was 85. It might have been 86. Plastic aerials. Can anyone give Atlantis pointers? Ranking my own site a little higher. The site's been confused. I'm just finished right now and using it, but I just don't rank well. Okay, right. So have you been using Rank Math, my friend? If you're not using Rank Math, you need to use Rank Math. And I'm gonna give you a video, Atlantis. Just hold on. Yeah, take care, Charlie. Go and rustle up some more of those burgers. KFC in the UK did a really amazing deal. Normally it's $8.99. I think it's $8.99 for 10 hot wings. 10 hot wings, $8.99. They've got this deal going on that they had on 2 weeks ago and they've still got it on, where you get 20 hot wings for £10. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. 10 hot wings are $8.99, but for £10 you get 20. And my head hurt. It's like, what? It's not exactly buy one get one free because you're paying an extra pound, but it's like, what? 20 hot wings? Of course I got 20 hot wings, so I still got half to eat later. You know, 8 minutes in the oven. They are perfect. But yeah, you take care, Charlie. Stay safe. Right, stay safe, Charlie. Yeah, I mean, it's brand new. Normally, it's always $8.99 for 10. But 20 for £10, that's like a bargain and a half, that is. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. Oh, thank you very much. That was the wonderful. Thank you very much. I have to say though, you know what I found? You know what though? I was suspect then, but you know what? Inside, some of them were quite big. The sizes of all of them index. I looked, I was like, actually, this is okay. And some of them, normally a lot of the chicken wings are roughly about that big. Some of them were like that, chunkier. And I was like, whoa. Oh no, I was happy to have 20, Charlie. Not Charlie, Pickstar. I was happy to have 20. Some for tonight. Lovely jubbly. Oh yes. $70 kilometers. $70,000. I know. I totally understand the price. I just think it was just a great. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, wow, this is brilliant. No brainer here. This is what I'm gonna get. But yeah, I totally get the price. I was just like, this is just brilliant. 70 kilometers. Which bit of island are you in, Atlantis? Which bit are you in? Because I would have thought that if you were Northern Ireland, I would have thought they'd be closer. I'm wondering, are you more in the Republic or the rural bit? West Island. Ah, right. Yes, yeah. Wow, up a mountain. God, I can just imagine what sights you have when you look out the window. But I bet you get the really harsh weather as well, because normally, you know, whenever like stormy weather comes in, Scotland always gets a bit of a bad deal, but Ireland, especially west side, normally gets hit quite hard as well, doesn't it? You really get the backlash of the storms, really, when they come in. Yeah, I mean, whenever I see weather reports of a storm or something coming in, and then it always shows that Scotland gets it. And people tend to always look at Scotland a lot. They go, oh yeah, Scotland's getting it. But I always see Ireland and the west side and the storm clouds, the colours, like they're proper deep green and blue, really big, thick, hitting and lashing. Especially the northwest, it really gets hit, doesn't it? Oh wow. Wow, that's a big change, isn't it? You know, it's not like you're going from Ireland to London. No, you're going to Sicily, Italy. Hey, Life Builder, how you doing? So, what's brought this move on? Is this a permanent move, Atlantis? Is this just a temporary? Is it a life-changing thing? What's brought on the move? Is it work? Is it love? What is it? What do I prefer, WordPress or Wix? WordPress, and I'll tell you why, Suren. I'll tell you now. I'll tell you why. Okay. So first, Atlantis, better weather, food, wine, so much cheaper in Sicily, absolutely. And I think you're going to have a much better time compared to the weather in Ireland. But that's brilliant. Okay, right. Let me answer the question about WordPress or Wix, right? Wix, Squarespace, a lot of these solutions, you are tied into an infrastructure, right? You pay monthly to use their system, and they have drag and drop and whatever, but you're tied in. You don't like the service or the SEO or the page speeds or whatever. You can't pick your website and go elsewhere. You can with a WordPress website. You can with that. So even though you got like WordPress or even Elementor Cloud, you don't like Elementor Cloud, you can download your website and go elsewhere. Wix, you're tied in. Also, there's 40% of websites are still built by WordPress. Wix, when Wix came out, I remember when it came out, everyone got excited. But why is WordPress still over 40%? Secondly, the amount of designers and developers out there, the amount of community for WordPress is massive compared to Wix and Squarespace. Thirdly, the plugins. So many free plugins. With Wix, I know I've got clients that were with Wix and then they realize, oh, hold on, I've got to now pay. I've got to go to the Wix marketplace to get access to certain like plugins or stuff I want, features I want to do on the website. Therefore, it's just, you know, it works out a lot more expensive. And the Wix model, all of that, you know, they apply SEO for you. Do you really want them to manage your SEO? I don't think so. I really don't. You want to be doing it yourself. So when you work it out, it works out much more expensive to be with Wix and Squarespace than if you just got some hosting wherever, okay, whatever you want to do, and an Elementor Pro website. It just makes so much more sense. And I keep using this analogy. Go into a room of 100 people. No, you can't transfer your Wix website to WordPress. That's the problem. Your website is built in Wix. Your website is built in Squarespace. That is it. You can't move your website elsewhere. WordPress you can take wherever you want. What you'll have to do is create a completely new website in WordPress. That's what you'll have to do. Yeah, the trouble is, right, with Squarespace and all this is once you're tied in and then you realize, oh, you need to do this for SSL. Oh, you need to do this for like a shop website. It's like Shopify. You're bought into something, right? You're bought into something and then you're stuck. I have customers who've built with Shopify and now they want loads of extra features. WordPress has a plugin, but it's pointless because then you're still paying for the Shopify and WordPress. And the great thing is, like I said, if you do your website on SiteGround or Bluehost or even GoDaddy, why don't go to GoDaddy, but let's say you have, or you've built on the Elementor Cloud and you don't like it, you download your website and you go elsewhere. Lift and shift, you can do that. Wix, Squarespace, all of these solutions that offer these lovely, cheap solutions, it's just appallingly bad and you'll hate it. And also, you go into a room of web designers, right? Some of them will be really good at HTML, CSS, JavaScripting, all of that stuff. But if you say in that 100 room, how many of you are an expert in, say, Shopify, Wix, or Squarespace? You might get 15, 20% of the room put their hand up. You might do. You say how many of you can work with WordPress? I'd be really surprised if you weren't hitting 95% of that room putting their hand up. Okay, it's just... So don't get sucked into the whole Wix, because there's so many adverts on YouTube everywhere. You got Keanu Reeves promoting Squarespace. He's been doing that for ages, right? All of these people promoting, like you have celebrities promoting Wix. Often I go, who the hell are you? You're telling me you're famous. I do not know who you are. Who are you? And like, I did a comparison as well. Like I worked out that like Wix, you could easily spend £300 to £400 a year using Wix. For what? And that's without you even paying for the marketplace plugins or the apps. They call it the marketplace apps. Totally limited. And don't get sucked into drag and drop the way they make it out. Don't get sucked into that. It ain't true. It's like Wix give you the ability to use images, but then they make you pay for images the same. So I had a client, they had a website on Wix and they had images and they paid £30 for a video. I then looked at the description for that video. I went to Canva. That exact video, the same video was in Canva for free. Hello? I said to the client, you just paid £60 for video and 6 construction images that were free, completely free in Canva. Not even Canva Pro, Canva free. And they were like, oh. I said, you're paying for stuff you don't need. Yeah, exactly what Alan says. We've moved over 3 websites from Wix, 1 from Shopify. So Elementor Cloud's okay. I've seen no issues with that. Some other people would disagree. My preferred is SiteGround because I really like their customer service, but and that's like what George is saying, that is one of the big reasons I don't use Wix or Squarespace or Shopify, because you know what? Your creativity and the things you know you can do are like that, condensed. You're just condensed down, limited, and it's just like, it's like someone saying to you, right, here you go, I'm going to give you a spreadsheet tool. You can either use Excel, Microsoft Excel, or I'm going to give you a spreadsheet tool. But here's the problem. You can only have 10 columns and you can only have 5 rows. That's it. That's the limitation. And you can't have any colors and you can't do a pivot table. You want the pivot table, you got to pay. You want more rows, you got to pay. You want more columns, you got to pay. But yes, SiteGround, I don't know much about A2. I've heard good things, but I don't know much about them really. Never tried it, but SiteGround for me is a real good winner. The extra you pay pays for itself when you look at the customer service. So Life Builder, I've been working this week with the shop engine. It took me a while, but I'm starting. Do you know Audible? No. Never used that one. Excellent, Peter. The website update's done. Yeah, 20i. I hear a lot of good stuff about their customer service as well. They're UK based. I hear a lot of good stuff about them. To be honest, until SiteGround pee me off, I do have a preference to them. However, with future clients who aren't building a massive shop that's going to have tons of visitors, I will be advising them to use Elementor Cloud. But yeah, I often see a lot of people on the forums or Elementor, they slate SiteGround a lot. But then when I look at who is saying that, I hate to be critical here, but the person saying that, often they are very critical of everything. Every time there's an update, they blame Elementor. And I go, well, actually, your website, I've just checked, has got like happy add-ons, premium add-ons, exclusive add-ons, ultimate add-ons, Boy steroids. You got all this stuff. What did you expect? Of course, you've updated the day the update came out. They've got no backup. They've got no staging site. They're critical of everything. And I feel like, I don't think there are some people you can't please. Yeah, the Elementor Cloud, it's not bad. It's not bad, you know. In fact, I did a review of it. I'll share with you here. Cloud. So here's a review of the cloud. Review of the cloud. Here's a review of the cloud for you if you want to watch it, okay? Oh, Peter, do you know how many people? This is the most common problem on the Elementor group, right? They don't have a backup, number one. They don't have a backup, not even an updraft backup or a basic backup, no backup. And they don't have a staging site, or they've never used that facility. And what they do is they just go and update. But just click update, update, update whenever they get told update. WordPress 5.9. Do you know how many people's websites broke because they just updated on day one? I waited until 5.9.1. In fact, for some websites, I was just wanted to be very careful. But they just update. They have nothing. They assume that, well, it's like people assume that when Elementor do an update, Elementor should have tested with every plugin under the sun. And I have to explain to them, why would Elementor test third party? They let them know it's for the third party plugin. If someone's built a plugin saying add-on for Elementor, when Elementor notify them prior to the changes, they should be working on it. They should be working on it. Not wait until the updates come out. Oh yes, so SiteGround, in the last year, there's been 2 occasions where the email's gone down. There's a problem with their server. It was something to do with a license hadn't been renewed or something. And another issue they had once was the Google, the crawling one. That was only for 24 hours? The email one took about 4 hours to fix. Yeah, exactly what George says. They kind of just like, they then start putting posts on Facebook and everywhere going, Elementor this, Elementor that, or Elementor is bloated, my website is really slow. And you look at the website and you go, well, you haven't custom loaded fonts, your images are the wrong size, none of them are WebP, you got loads of plugins going on, you're not doing any optimization, you got intersection within intersection, you got videos and sliders everywhere. What did you expect? What did you expect? Yeah, I always recommend to people, go for a solution that gives you daily backup, minimum daily backup, and also the ability to do a backup whenever you want. So if you want to do a backup right now, you can go in and enable it. Do it right now, you can do it. But minimum daily. And staging. I always recommend, if you can get one that gives you the facility for staging as well. If you can't get staging, the fact you can have an on-call backup. So right now, I'm about to update. I can't do it on the staging. I can do a backup. Boom. You got to do that. Nice one, Atlantis. I'm glad you're agreeing. I get so passionate and riled up about this when people start going angry on forums. Elementor this, Elementor that. My website's broke. You know, Elementor should have checked that Happy Add-ons was compatible. Really? And I then have to give him an analogy, right? Let's say a car manufacturer changes the shape of the car and suddenly the wheels you bought don't fit it. That's your problem because you went and bought new wheels, right? Or if Elementor changed the shape, not Elementor, if BMW changed the shape of a steering wheel and your steering wheel cover doesn't fit, don't blame BMW, just go and buy a new cover or wait for the manufacturer to bring out an updated version. Actually, you're right. Actually, it might have been a week, actually. I'm trying to remember. I remember the emails was an issue, but I do remember the Google one as well. I just can't remember how long it took. Yeah, absolutely. Staging sites, subdomains, or how, with SiteGround, I just have a staging site. But yeah, backups, definitely backups. I'm just editing a video here, by the way, so... Well, now that you've said that, Atlantis, I might have to give A2 a bit of an inspection now. I better make a note that I might give it a bit more of an inspection now that you've said that. Yeah, I might give him an inspection. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't do as much as you do with it. SiteGround's been okay with me so far. Yeah, that's what a staging site is, Pickstar. So basically, like sometimes I've got, so it's literally a direct copy of everything, and then you can run the updates or install a new plugin or do something, change the content, change the pages, do whatever you want. What's really cool about a staging site is that you might have a client that's got an existing website and they want a completely brand new website. So you create a staging site, you create everything brand new, do whatever you want, yeah. And then when you're happy with it, you can just literally then do overwrite, and this staging site will overwrite the existing, completely overwrite it, replaces it entirely. So you don't have to have like, oh, we've got to change this to be coming soon because we're building the staging site now. No, that can stay running. This new website might take 2 weeks to build, whatever. This is still active, and then you execute and it just overwrites it. So now the new website is the new norm. Staging site, that I haven't done a video on it, mainly because it's different for different providers. So SiteGround have their own way. No, SiteGround have a just an option. GoDaddy even have an option, believe it or not. So you have an option which is overwrite, and it overwrites it. It just does it like that. SiteGround, you just have a function to overwrite. You can just do that. However, another way to do it, sometimes what I do is I don't just use the staging. So what I do is the brand new site, I use the all-in-one migration plugin to download the new website. I go to the old website, use WP reset to reset it, and then upload the new website. So it's just a complete fresh upload. So it completely clears the decks of the WordPress. Some host providers provide this. Believe it or not, GoDaddy do as part of their deluxe package. I hate GoDaddy. SiteGround provide it. I think IONS provide it. One-on-one provide it. I think you have to check with your hosting provider. So when someone is getting a host, there are some key things they've got to check. One of them is your bandwidth, your number of visitors, daily backups, staging site facility, SSL certificate. Very important. Elementor Cloud does not currently have the staging facility. However, they do have daily backups, and you can activate a backup whenever you want. So I go, right, I'm going to do one now. You can click and do it. So that for me is okay. But if you were trying to build a copy of your website and then you want to overwrite it, you're best doing a staging site. Or even a subdomain as well. You could do it on that, build it, download it with all-in-one migration plugin. So you got it all there. Then go to your old website, use WP reset plugin to reset the old website. So it's totally fresh out the factory WordPress. There's nothing on it, just WordPress, right? And a login maybe. And then you use all-in-one the all-in-one WP migration plugin to then upload, boom, that. Or like Peter says, WP staging plugin. Sorry, I said that wrong then. Yeah, WP staging plugin. Could use that as well. I've not really used that one. Heard of it, not used it. Yeah, WP Vivid is a popular one. I use all-in-one. All-in-one migration plugin has never been a problem for me at the moment. Never been a problem for me. But yeah, WP Vivid, which you can't use on Elementor Cloud at the moment. Oh yeah, very good point, George. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've realized with a client who likes whose host is GoDaddy, and the staging site on there, the cache issues we have on there are so annoying. You gotta clear the cache. And if it's GoDaddy, well, you're basically stuffed in a good way. Yeah, I actually have that as well, Atlantis. So I've got the all-in-one, and I paid, I think it was I can't remember, was it $59? I can't remember what it is, but that is a wonderful, wonderful plugin. I have to say, it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite plugin for if I want to download a file, because I know without fail. Take care, Peter. I know without fail you get everything that you can then stick elsewhere into a subdomain. Or those two. There's still two websites, George. There's still two websites that we're just waiting for still waiting for some further details from the client before we close those off. So GoDaddy, two websites on GoDaddy, we're still stuck with them. But I have to put my foot down and refuse to do any more GoDaddy websites. I don't know, I'll probably still work on them, but I hate them. Oh, wow, you got it 3 years ago. Wow, dude. By the way, I'm assuming you're a dude, Atlantis. So I'm really sorry, you're probably not. But, wow. It's a great plugin. It's a great plugin. It's one of the ones I definitely recommend for migration, or if you're wanting to do like a full-on download of your website. Just double checking the sound quality on this video. Wow. So this video I've just done, which was about the essential and desirable plugins that we use. Dudes, Atlanta. In fact, we'll call you Duchess then. I won't call you Dudes, I'll call you the Duchess. Are you kidding me? Black Knight? So in Ireland, there's a different one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, GoDaddy, it just can't. Ugh. Right, okay, so Zoom. Come on, Zoom. Reel it off, mate. What plugins have you got? What add-ons have you got? What elemental add-ons have you got? Start reeling it off, mate. Start reeling it off. But you know what, Zoom? Ultimate Add-ons said they updated, but there was a problem still. Because I know someone this morning had a problem. Happy Add-ons. Not happy add-ons. Exclusive add-ons. No, is it exclusive or essential? It might be exclusive. They've said everything is fine, but there was still a glitch they're looking into. So what we need to know is which add-ons. Which add-ons? Yeah, Pigstar. That sounds. Are you not with GoDaddy, are you, Pigstar? Oh, Strato. Oh, yeah, I think you mentioned that before. Yeah, Strato. Right, so that's that one video done. We've been live for 1 hour 32. 1 hour 32. So, Atlantis, I have a file just for my plugins. I think I have about 80 in there. Yeah, I mean, I have a test website which has got all the plugins I've ever used on anyone's website. So if it ever goes down, I'll know when there's an update or something. Yeah, I try to keep my plugins down as well. So essential add-ons, right? Has a problem still. They're saying it's updated, but I don't think they've done it properly. And you've got Plus. Oh, Zoom, you've got too many on there, mate. You got a lot of plugins on there, Zoom. So Peter, I use when I design websites, pen and paper. I keep things loose and flexible. I will have, you know, I might use a ruler and guide exactly, but if the client wants us, if I was gonna do something like that, I would do it in Photoshop or Photopea, not XD. But the clients want to pay for that. They pay more premium then for the time spent on designing. But with the Scribble, we can fine tune and rearrange much more quicker. So Chingy is saying multiple services as a one-man company. But yeah, offering multiple services is totally fine. In fact, I think it's what a lot of us do, to be honest. But then you got to work out, what are they getting? How much time are you spending? So what is the right price to charge? Don't just have one price that offers all of this. You got to split it up so you can say to some customers, hey, you just want web design, that's the cost for that. You also want the branding and research for your market, your business, fine, there's that. SEO, stuff like that. And then your maintenance, you know, £30 a month, £300 a month. You know, what is the risk? And it's the time as well, because once you start offering that kind of stuff, yeah, you got to then have the time to do it. Yep, A4 drawing pad. You're on my page, Atlantis. And I tell you why I like it loose. Because when you actually start designing, even when you have like an Adobe XD design, when you start designing and you see things now moving, all of a sudden that design maybe doesn't work fully, or because it's loose on a scribble and whatever, and you've done some coloring or shading, there's flexibility in redesigning where you have to, and I prefer that. It's the creative writer in me. I like to be loose with where does the journey take me sometimes. So just back to Zoom, you know, I just think that the amount of plugins you've got on there, because I know Unlimited this morning had a problem. I know they had a problem. And someone I know who had Unlimited rolled their site back because of Unlimited. What's my son up to? He's running all over. I've just seen my son outside running across the street. We live in a cul-de-sac, so it's pretty safe. It's very quiet around here. He's just running across to someone's house. I don't know what he's up to. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I say that sometimes you need to understand, like what Atlantis is saying. I always say prices from a certain price point, and then I price it accordingly to the work or what's required or what's involved. Because what I don't want is you have customers thinking that I get all this for this, but one of them is a heck of a lot more work. But that's why, Chingy, what you got to then do, yeah, if when it comes to balancing is you then got to go, right, what can you do now? What can you do now? So either you earn enough to employ someone else to work with you, or you got to basically, it's like living within your means. What can you afford to eat now? So that's what you spend on food. What can you afford to spend when you go out? That's what you spend. What can you afford to do for clients? And remember, if you've got 4 clients and they're contacting you and the website's down or the critical error or the website's fallen over, what time can you give back to them? Because if they've paid, they will expect, you know, and a bad review you don't want. So we built a website for a vegan chocolate company that were based in South Africa. We've done quite a few websites from America dotted around, and we were going to work. And a website which actually they originated in Nigeria, but they're actually based in London, outside London. I don't often like working overseas, and I'll tell you why. Timelines can be such a pain in the butt. And there was someone who contacted us from Australia once, but they were like, oh, I can only do meetings at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And I was like, that's midnight for me. And they were like, yeah, but that's all I can do. And I was like, I'm not, I was like, we've got to work it. I says, look, what about if we do a meeting at 9 o'clock at night, which would be 9 o'clock in the morning for me? Like, no. They're the only times to do. And I was like, forget that. I'm not going to change my life for you. Don't care what you're paying. And also, I mean, this sounds really bad now, yeah, but I have to make sure that if I'm working with anyone overseas, we have to understand one another. And I'm not talking about fluent English. I mean, we've got to understand. So if they don't understand what I'm saying, or I don't understand what they want, then I just feel like we're just going to keep going back and forth, and it becomes strenuous to work. But we've got to kind of understand each other. Yeah, we will. We will. We will. We do sometimes hire people if we're trying to do something really funky with code, but I have to be honest, I'm very selective, and I don't like taking on jobs where there's going to be too much JavaScripting or stuff to do. Why? Because I don't want the stress. Because if I've got someone else working on it, I'm then stressing that they can sort that out before I can relieve my stress. So we've got plans to grow much bigger. We've got plans to grow much, much bigger, but not just yet. Not yet. Because we are also looking at within our means, what can we do? And like at the minute, you know, we're balancing social media, marketing, business, mastery membership, YouTube. I'm supporting the Bertha AI with their videos and stuff like that as well. There's Elementor. There's, you know, there's like, you know, like some of the live chats I do with Elementor and stuff like that. So there's a lot of juggling. Hey, Zanti, how you doing? You were great on your live chat as well, by the way. You did great. But yeah, I would say that, yeah, we will eventually grow, but it's all about when the right time comes, you grow at the right time. What you don't do is take on too much and then struggle to either pay for it or make it work. You know, it's like someone who just about can afford a 1-bedroom house, and then they have the chance to get a 5-bedroom house and they go for it, but now they can't pay everything or whatever, or manage all the demands of it. We're thinking about that. We're just trying to work out the best way to do it. Because to be honest, though, you know, there are sales guys out there, but I'm not a fan of the commission process. So let's say we take on a sales guy, right? And do you pay them when they find a lead? Which isn't great, because what if they don't find no leads for a month? Or do you pay them regardless? Now, if you pay them regardless, unless you've got the budget to fund them, that's money going down the drain. And sometimes when people earn, whether they get clients or not, they're going to get paid regardless until you fire them or whatever, or you performance manage them. So you got to think about, what is your expendable income investment pot that you can pay someone, but then you got to make sure you get a return of investment back. If you don't get a return investment, that capital that you earned to create is lost. You know, that's it. And for me, it's like when we have clients and you got a hosting package and they're paying, the money you get from that pays for your own hosting and your own Elementor Pro licenses and whatever. But I've seen so many businesses, I know so many businesses, okay, where they have invested 20, 30,000 pounds, right, okay, in the hope that they will get more leads and they will come out with major profit. And you know what? They sink. They literally go like this, boom, because what they thought they were going to get doesn't even cover what they took out as a loan or whatever, and then they just sink. Yeah, so basically with sales, you got to have a base salary, but for me, it's like, you got to be honest here, though, in that, what you got to be honest, though, is there is no bulletproof method to get clients or leads in web design. We got to be honest here, right? It's not like you're selling something that no one else can do. It is exclusive. So people have to come to you. In fact, you don't have to find them. They find you. They come to you. But with web design and all of that, SEO, marketing, whatever, there's no bulletproof method. You're up against everyone else in the world. You're up against people that do it loads cheaper. You're up against people that have tons more experience and whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like what Zanti is saying, because they're in a big company where they have tons of expendable profit, probably, you can do that all the time. Yep, Google My Business, that is another untapped resource as well. And I mean, I look as well and I see they've either got a really appalling website or they haven't got a website kind of thing. So you got to kind of look at it and see like, so if the company has got the income to hire people to find work, we would go for it. But yeah, like George is saying, previous clients or word of mouth, we get a lot of that as well. Previous clients and word of mouth, that works a lot. Like someone, we build a website for them. They're no longer with us, but they got a friend who wants 4 websites built starting once they sort their stuff out. They've come to us based on word of mouth. And this is a client we have not built. We stopped working with them 15 months ago. But they still love what you do and how you're transparent, and how you deliver, and how you speak to them, and how you treat them like someone you value, you want to work with as well. And you don't mess them around. You're honest where the costs are. You're honest with your time and what you're going to do for them. And if you can't do something, you also say, I can't do that. Or you advise them why you shouldn't do that. You don't say, yeah, that'll cost an extra whatever, and you get someone else to do it. I like to build websites that I believe in. Because if I don't believe in it, it's not fun to work on. But if you believe in it, you will have much more enjoyment when you get to the end and you go, oh, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to tell everyone about. I want to put it on my social media. Hey, look, we just built this website. Go look at it. You want to do that. Yeah, George, we get that as well. So sometimes people find us because they had a bad experience with their hosting. They were using Wix or Shopify, or they went to, again, I don't want to disrespect anyone here if you use Fiverr, okay? But I've had a lot of clients that went to Fiverr. They didn't pay a lot, but they also didn't get a lot. Or what they got was not what they thought they were going to get. And I have to be honest with them and say, right, we are going to build from scratch. We are not going to take a bad cake and make that cake taste better. The bad cake is a bad cake. Once it's made bad, you can't make the inside better. I can design the outside if you want. I can put icing on, but the inside of that cake is wrong. It's gone. It's rubbish. It's crap. So we have to start again. And the reason I like to start again is so I know exactly what's going into that cake, that website. So if there's a performance issue or a page speed insight score goes down or whatever, I know why. I know because we had a blank canvas. I know exactly why. But if I work on a bad cake and I've improved it, but it still tastes bad, I'll be like, well, was it me? Was it them? Was it this? Was it that? What's hidden? Exactly. Sometimes things just can't get fixed, and you just got to start from scratch. I mean, and again, I'm not going to disrespect. I don't want to disrespect anyone on here, but I have done probing where I have contacted loads of Fiverr website designers and stuff, and they all come back with the same thing. They offer they advertise for a low price, $10, $15. They then try and up the price once they know what the client wants to $50, $60. But then a lot of them, do you know every day how many people contact me via Facebook direct messenger? I would say 10, 15 people every day. Some come back to me all the time. Some are brand new. They've got a job on Fiverr, right? They've agreed to do the work for a client, but they don't know how to do it. So they've agreed to build a website, but they don't know how to do it. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm like, why did you agree to work on someone's website if you don't know how to do this? Why did you agree to that? And they're like, but we wanted the money. We managed to get $60. And I'm like, you want me to do it, but you can't afford my hourly rate. I can't help you. You're going to have to go elsewhere. So I always say, don't take on a job that's going to stress you out or you can't deliver. Understand the spec, understand what they're going to do before you take any deposit down. I know what you mean. To be honest, Xanthi, what you're saying there is actually quite true. We did that for some clients, and after that we decided we're never going to do that again. Take on a job halfway and try and correct it, because one person used Visual Composer, and the code for all of what their site did was inside Visual Composer, and my brain was like, I was like, no, what are we doing? So Caripos, JavaScript delay execution. I've got a video coming out in about 2 weeks where I use code snippets. So I don't do JavaScript delay. I remove unused JavaScript. So I don't really do JavaScript delay execution. Not yet. Because there's not many companies that employ web designers. There will be some companies out there, right? There will be some, don't get me wrong, there are some, but not many. But that's just the way it is. Because the thing about web designing is that it's a touch and go industry. You can make it or you break it. You know, you can build your name up or... I mean, I'll tell you now, right, yeah, if you start a business and you employ 10 web designers, you've got 10 people that you've got to feed now and provide income for. And when your work does this, and there's a slump, they still want paying. And that is why it's because it is unpredictable, right? It is unpredictable, okay? We've got 3 jobs we're working on. We've got a client who's probably going to start tomorrow. And we've got another job that might come on in 2 weeks' time. We were not planning to have 2 new jobs starting very soon now, okay? We were taking a bit of a break from clients to finish 3 others. It happens. But we've also had periods where we had nothing for a month. It happens, right? But so there's the unpredictable nature soon, which is why, you know, unless you work in a industry or a niche web design organization where you only build websites for certain types of clients, where you know the demand is like that, always through the door, non-stop, then, yeah, feast or famine, then you could employ and sustain. But is the income and the clients and the leads you get sustainable? And the answer is not always, not always. You will have bad moments and you'll have great moments where you're like, whoa, we've got too much on. But you just gotta kind of work it. To be honest, Zoom, it is a headache. It is a headache. And you got to find, what you got to do there is find what you are comfortable with. And are you able to share the workload? So I'm the creative one in the business. And then Mark is there he drums up good business as well. I drum up business. He drums up good business. He handles a lot of the marketing side of things. I handle the YouTube, the designing the websites and all that. But you have to share it out. You have to share it, you know, you have to kind of like it's like look, I'll be honest with you. Last week and the week before, I was not going out there looking for clients or researching or anything. A previous client's come back, done a quote, and they look like they're ready to go ahead with it now. And something else might come on in a couple of weeks' time. It just happens. Sometimes, though, you got to find them. But if I know I'm on the hunt for clients now, I probably won't do a YouTube live chat that day. I won't do a YouTube live chat. Why? Because I'm focusing on contacting people, clients, or trying to find someone who needs a website. Haven't had to do that for a while. I have to be honest. I'm going to be honest here now. I haven't had to do that since, I'll tell you. So it's now, we're in March, 7 months. I haven't had to do that. Because there's always something coming in, or previous client, new client, whatever, word of mouth, stuff like that. Or we've got other stuff on as well. But you gotta start somewhere. You do have to start somewhere. So when we started off, we were having to do tons of tons of finding clients, bending over sometimes, realizing actually we took on work from people we don't want to work with. And then you decide, what is your norm? What are you comfy with? Working within your comfort zone and your means, you will realize eventually what's the type of ideal client you want to work with. So what George said there about, like, he's got someone who works. Yeah, so we've got so one of the good things, okay, Zoom. So this is where life becomes good for you later on, okay? So I've worked in the NHS for nearly 20 years, okay? I've got loads of contacts and people, doctors, whatever, okay? I've got friends that work in other industries as well, right? I promote myself as a web designer on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place, right? I have lots of friends who are writers. I've got friends who've written books that are published, whose books are going to be created into a TV show on Sky TV. Right? My friends' books, they're going to be... I've got another friend who's got a movie deal coming out, sorting out with Hollywood for their book. I've got friends all over the place, right? There's always a better chance that the people you know and the networks you make, if they need a website, hopefully they're going to contact me. They will come to me. And then I can see if I want to work on it, we work on it. So what I would say, Soom, is look at your network and your friends at the moment. If you looked at your friends, or who are you with on LinkedIn and Facebook and all these places, right? Oh, Carapos, I'm going to delete your comment, Visual Composer. Why? But what I would say, Soom, is if you look at... don't worry about introvert, okay? Let me tell you now, I said this last week. I am deep down an introvert. But when I get passionate about something, I come out, all right? You know, I will sing and dance and whatever about subject matters I like, okay? Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Marvel, all this stuff, comics, Transformers. I could go on and on, okay? Technology, Elementor. But deep down, you put me in a room with people I don't really know, and I'll be the quiet one in the corner, just with my drink, just like, you know, I'll be the quiet one, okay? Visual Composer, George. You know, and what I would say is, where are we going with this? So yeah, don't worry about being an introvert. But what you have to do, Soom, okay, let me tell you now, I made a choice when I was, I'm going to be honest here. When I was 15, I had to choose which college I go to. And everyone I knew in my life, nearly everyone, 95% of everyone I knew growing up with my friends were going to a college. Some people I knew were going to another college. And you know what? I chose this other one. Why? Because the people here, the friends I grew up with, a lot of them, I could tell were not going to achieve much in their life. And I wanted to be with a better network of people. And I made a choice in my life that when I'm at work, wherever I go to meet people, I want to talk and speak to people that are in other businesses and other stuff. Why? Because it spreads my knowledge. It spreads my community and the people I speak to. So I would say, take care, Sanfi, okay? Good having you here, and great to listen in on your chat. I had my chat open at the same time, believe it or not. Okay, so I was listening in on you as well. So what I would say is Start connecting with people. Start connecting on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Start getting out there that you do websites. Start to believe in yourself and what you can do. You may have to stretch yourself a little bit sometimes. But once you do that, when you stretch yourself, you'll know what is your breaking point. What is the point where you go, oh, that was too much. I won't do that again. Or what will you suddenly go, what can I do more of? Zoom, 95% of my... Right, let me tell you how many friends I have. Okay, take care. I have... so how many proper good friends do I have? I'm going to say 4 people. 4 people I can trust. That's it. 4 people. Mark, my friend who lives in London, my friend who lives in Milton Keynes, and one of my other friends that lives in Leicestershire. That's it, 4. There's 4 people I can trust. Everyone else of my friends and people that I know are online. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. I don't see them. I don't go out with them. I don't ring them up. But they know me. They know me. They've either worked with me at some point maybe, or they've been in contact with me. Right? How many of these 4 friends do I see? Let me tell you then. This friend who lives in Leicestershire, I haven't seen in 3 years. But they've got my back and I've got theirs. This friend I haven't seen in 2 years. This friend I haven't seen in 2 years either, since lockdown started. This friend, I see maybe... I see them online. We have video calls. But face to face, last time I saw them was... Let me get this right. It would have been September last year, 2021. So you don't have to see them. You don't have to see them. And they don't have to all be your closest friends. They just need to be people that know. I wouldn't call my wife my friend. she's different. But they don't have to be face-to-face friends. They have to be people that know you, know what you stand for, and what you can do, and are you reliable and trusted? So if you say, I can bake a cake, you can bake a cake. If you say, I can drive a truck, you can drive a truck. Or are you the friend that says, I can drive a truck, but you don't know how to drive the truck? Or I can bake a cake, but actually you buy the cake from a shop and pretend you've made. Do you get what I mean? So I have people who know me, who know that when I say I can do this or do that, they know I deliver. They know what my customer service is, what my mindset is, how I behave, how I am, how I can be funny when I want to be funny, or serious when I need to be. They know what I stand for and what I do. They're the kind of people you want to connect with, and they're the people you want to grow over time. They get to know who you are. Okay? Because if you're friends with people who kind of, if you're friends with people who go, yeah, I can do this and do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I got a house, but their mum and dad paid for it. Yeah, I got this car, but it's their brother's car or whatever. Oh yeah, I earn XYZ, but actually they don't earn XYZ. What you need to try and do is connect with people who can actually help broaden your skill set, but also they actually can help network you around as well. Because, I've got so many friends that work in the health industry, right? One of them is now going to go private. They're going to cut down their hours and go private. They need a website. Who do you think they contacted? Me. Why? Because I advertise that I do websites. Therefore, it's in their interests to work with me because they know what they're getting, and they know that they can trust me to deliver, and they know that when I give them a price, I'm giving them the best price I can, but I'm not ripping them off. We've actually been live over 2 hours, and I do need to stop now. I do need to stop. I'm really sorry. I've got to stop now. We've been live for 2 hours. Reason being, I've been sat here 2 hours, and I need to walk around a bit, otherwise my legs forget how to move muscles. So let me give it 2 minutes. I'm going to give it 2 minutes before I cut off. And that's why I love doing these live chats. because we can talk about so many subjects, but we can also get serious as well sometimes about, we can have fun, but also just having to think about, life lessons about how, what I will say soon, okay, is you're still young. You're still young, okay? I'm going to be 44 in September. I'm going to be 44, okay? I didn't start working on websites until about 16 years ago, right? So 28. I didn't really take it properly serious until about 10 years ago. So, there's a time and a place, and don't try to skate. Hey, Anthony. Hey, I'm about to go, Anthony. I'm only here for 2 more minutes, Ant. But don't try to scale up too quick. Don't try to take on staff if you haven't got that large chunk of expendable income to fill the gaps when business slumps. Because you know what? When business slumps and your workers aren't getting paid, they don't want to stick around and they'll go elsewhere. And then you lose all the support that you've built to create this wonderful team. Unless you've got the expendable income, don't scale too fast. Scale at the right time. It's been really good. Atlantis, I think this is the first time you've joined, I think. And I hope I see you again. I know, Anne, do you know what, Anne? You do tend to come on just as I'm closing off sometimes. Bad timing, mate. Look, take care, everyone. I shall see you all probably tomorrow, I hope. But take care. Look after yourselves. And yeah, look, soon, if ever you want to talk about anything and you don't want to do it on here, you know where I am on Facebook. You can DM me, okay? This goes for everyone. If ever anyone just wants to bat out some ideas or whatever, just send a DM if you don't want to do it openly here. But take care. Ciao. Yeah, bye, Ant. I haven't even eaten yet, guys. Right, take care. Speak to you all soon. Bye.